Welcome back to Music and Theatre Education, and welcome to my bathroom and my face with no makeup on it, and it's looking really angry at the moment. Today I'm going to teach you how to do basic stage makeup. Let's go! Okay, before we get started, you need to make sure you have clean hands to start with. Then pop on some moisturizer. It creates a barrier between your skin and your makeup. Just trying to keep it healthy. Then we're going to put on some primer. This is the primer that I like to use. It is Australis, the original primer. I think it works really well, and it's Australian and it's cruelty free. So all those things are good in my book. You put some on your hands and basically just put it on like moisturizer. Now I will clarify that I am not a makeup expert. I am not a makeup artist. This is just how I do my very basic stage makeup. Next, we want our foundation. Now the two most important things with your foundation is that it needs to be full coverage and matte. That means it's not shiny. It's not that wet look or dewy that seems to be quite popular, but not great for stage makeup. So this is what I use, which is probably not super useful considering I think they're stopping making it. So it's Rimmel Stay Matte. I use True Ivory. I probably should use a shade darker because you want to go a shade darker or even two shades darker than your skin tone. I think mine's a little light, but I tend to do shows in small theatres, so it's not quite as necessary to have really dark foundation. Once again, I am using my fingers. So I literally just slap it on. I know this is probably a really terrible way of doing your foundation. I'm sorry. The good thing about using your hands, it's usually quite quick. And you can usually slap your makeup on really fast. Now, the thing with doing your foundation differently to maybe everyday wear is that you're going to want to work it down your neck as well, basically to where your costume goes to, because you really don't want your face to be a different color to your neck or even your shoulders and things like that as well. So I'm not going to do that today, but you would just work it down your neck. Sometimes you need a lot of foundation to just cover the whole amount. Next is blush. Now you want to go quite bright. It'll look really scary to start with, but on stage it looks really good. So I use Australis's Show Some Cheek in the colour Dreamy, and it's very bright, but you want to go for like a bright pink or red depending on your colouring. So you find your cheekbone, basically just put it on. These sort of brushes are really good, ones that have are on that diagonal, which is probably a little bit hard to see. Just makes it much easier to apply. So this is pretty much the lightest you'd want it. Okay. Next up is eyebrows, particularly important if you don't really have much eyebrow, like I do, or don't rather. Or if you pull yours out like I do, and they end up really patchy. But it really helps define your face. And you use your eyebrows so much when you're acting. You don't want them to kind of disappear because you use them so much for expression. Maybelline Tattoo Brow, a pomade. I find it so much easier to apply with a brush. Really hard to apply with a camera. If you see me looking to the back, it's because I actually have a mirror behind there. Next, I'm going to do my eyes. So starting with eyeshadow, I use this palette, Tartist Pro. I'm just going to do brown today because it's actually what I want my Year 7s to use. And that's the real reason I'm making this video. Hi Year 7s! Okay, so I'm going to take a lighter brown, this one here, which is called Bold, and then Edgy. So I'm going to use Bold to cover my eyelid. Then I'm going to take a different brush. So I use that sort of brush for covering my eyelid. And then I'm taking a tapered blending brush with my edgy colour. And I'm just going to smoke out the edge. And then bring it into my crease as well. Okay, now I'm going to take a third colour, which is Classic, which is this like creamy colour here. And I'm actually going to bring it up to the top. Now this isn't super necessary, I won't always do this, but I'll just define a bit under my brow bone as well. Okay, next is eyeliner and mascara. You'll notice I use lots of Tarte products, not sponsored, just like their products. Today I'm using Tarte Man Eater, but I actually love all of their liquid eyeliners. Now you can use pencil eyeliners and things as well. I would probably start with a pencil because it's easier to fix mistakes. It's quite hard to fix mistakes in liquid liner, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easier to apply. So for generic stage makeup, I would line the top and then underneath, but only to about just over halfway. And you might notice my eyes join up at the side, so it'll look a little bit different than on other people, but you'll get the idea. So I'm just lining the top. Whether you do a wing or not will depend on the era of the show that you're doing as well. And then I'm going to do about just over halfway. So I'm doing under my lashes, not my waterline. It tends to rub off on your waterline. Basically, practice makes perfect with eyeliner. It's very hard to teach someone how to do it. You've really got to just sit down and work out the best way for you. Some people need to keep their mouth open. Some people need to pull their eye and draw it. But I've gotten to the point where I can just stand there and draw it. But doing it in a camera is not the best idea. Okay, next is mascara. Tarte as well. It's upside down. And it's basically worn off anyway. This is the Lights Camera Splashes. It's waterproof. Waterproof mascara is always a good idea for shows. So all I do, start at the base and comb upwards. I usually give it a little bit of a wiggle. Just means that the lashes get coated a bit better. Ooh, my mascara is running out. It's because it's good. Some people find it hard to do their lower lashes, but I find if I tilt my head, not too bad. Sweep the brush over it. Oh, you tell how much you can see my eyes more already. Okay, we're nearly done. Now, basically, we've just got our setting and our lipstick. So, setting spray, I use this NYX one that's quite easy to pick up in your local Priceline or wherever, those sort of ones. You want to look for matte finish again, because there's all those dewy and photo finish and all those sort of ones, but you definitely want matte. Now you need your powder. Now this is important all the way through the show. So this is something you're going to want to reapply lots of times. Anytime you come off stage, put some powder on. Okay, powder I use at the moment is Tarte. See that I really like Tarte makeup. It's called Smooth Operator. And basically, because it's a powder like this, I find that if you load some onto your brush and then tap it off into the lid, because you don't want to have too much on at the same time. Otherwise it's just a waste really. And then you just apply it all over you. Try not to breathe it in. Not nice. Finally, lipstick. And colour is going to depend on your show once again. I just grabbed my lipstick from my last show. I went with Rimmel London. This is the Provocalypse line, and it has two ends. It has your lipstick and then it has like a balm thing, and basically it makes it so it doesn't move. Really important if you're doing a show where you're getting up close and personal with people, because you don't want to rub your lipstick off on their costume or their face. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this. Lip liner is also a really good idea. I can't find mine, but this one, it's also good to have something with an applicator. It makes it a little bit easier. I've applied that, and then I'll put the other end. There's my lipstick. Something you might like to do to stop lipstick getting on your teeth. It looks really dodgy, and make sure you've washed your hands, but you go. And it just gets rid of any lipstick that's kind of gone on the inside that could end up on your teeth. So once this is dry, that will not move until I take it off with makeup remover later. And there is my stage makeup. I hope that helped you. Obviously, male stage makeup is a little bit different, and maybe I'll do a video on that along the line. Thanks for joining me on Music and Theatre Education. I hope you learned something about putting on your stage makeup. And until next time, keep on that theatre adventure.